Hello guys, welcome back to another Artcore with RAV video. I am your host, simplyRav, and you are going to be watching Artcore with RAV, me. So, today we're going to be doing clouds, which it's really a very choice-heavy thing, I think. So, I made clouds this morning, and I got some approval from people, and they said it was really good. But the whole point of me making these clouds was I was trying to figure out how I wanted my clouds to look, and I'm gonna go more in depth about that before we get into the tutorial. The Artcore with Rev tutorial series is not supposed to be really taken as a tutorial. I don't think any tutorial is really to be taken as a tutorial unless it's on like software engineering or like just any type of engineering or math or whatever, where if you're wrong, you're very much so wrong. There's not necessarily a wrong way to make Artcore, I believe, as long as you're following the fundamentals. And basically what I mean by that is, of course, there's general Artcore, which is what I try to teach on this channel. But then there's the broader range, which is your own style. Because, I mean, there's a clear difference between Furs versus Rainomi versus Volna versus Halo versus me. All of us have our own little niches and styles, little things that we do that people can obviously tell it is us who created our style, basically. And I think that's a very important part of really any art-related style in Geometry Dash, or really any style in Geometry Dash, is you need to find your niche in the style for it to really be your style and not just a style. You want people to look at your stuff and go, oh yeah, that's a level made by that guy. You know that's a level made by that guy because it has X, Y, and Z in it, and nobody else really does that. So, yeah, I just wanted to really talk about that before we get into this tutorial. But without all that out of the way, let's move right on to the tutorial. Oh, and also, I believe I might have fixed the problem with Geometry Dash crashing all the time. I've only had like 2 launches since I tried this little fix that I have here, and I'm hoping that it's going to fix the problem and any future problem that I would have had. I'm hoping that that's the case. Alright, so basically, hopefully by the end of this tutorial series, this is what you're going to be able to make. I did this within like maybe 2 hours this morning. I'm going to teach you these main clouds here. I'm going to teach you these little wisps. I'm going to teach you all of the little background clouds that kind of add to the background. Then eventually I'll get into stuff like this ground, all this extra lighting. I'll probably touch base and make another lighting tutorial at some point. And there's also light flares and stuff like that, which is the reason why I'm going to be making another lighting tutorial probably. But I am going to let you guys decide what I do next. There's multiple ways that you can do that. Hopefully by the end of the month I'll have 100 subscribers, and if that's the case, I believe I can have the community page on my YouTube channel, which means I can host polls for what you guys want to see for my next Artcore tutorial, which will be very helpful because then I'll know what people want to see and I'll be able to deliver. Alright, with all that said, let's get right into this tutorial. So there's a lot to break down in this, and I'm going to be teaching you how to make everything you see on the screen at one point or another. But for the most part, we're going to be doing the bread and butter, which is the clouds, obviously. You saw the title of the video. This is what we're going to be working on. Alright, so basically, let me show you what I do for my clouds, which I really just discovered today. So I use the stock cloud objects, these objects here, and I'm going to be using that for this tutorial. They serve as a really good base for you to shape out what you want your cloud to end up looking like. And that is very important. It can be very helpful for later on in adding a lot of detail. And then I added a little bit of Volna objects just to add a little bit of highlighting. This used to be all I did for the clouds, but I thought to myself, I think I could add a little bit more. So I added these objects, which this object is basically what adds the most texture to it. It gives it a lot of texture definition, and you can see that I have a lot of color. That's because I was playing with the saturation a lot. Saturation is extremely important for clouds. And then I added some scaled up dots to help a little bit more. And then I have a little bit of glow just to also help out with bringing the whole piece together. So that's going to be basically the first and most important cloud that I'm going to be teaching you how to make. I'm going to go on to layer 10. Nope, not layer 10. Layer 11, which is where I have the cloud, the entire cloud set up. I'm going to select this entire cloud, and I'm just going to delete it because I want to start fresh. I want to start totally fresh with a blank canvas. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the generic cloud object. This is a very important part of the creation because it's the most basic part of the cloud. It's very important. What we're going to do is we're going to set it to very high saturation. The saturation is going to be at 10. So there's not really much that I can say about making clouds because a lot of it is just like repetition and understanding what you need to do. So for this tutorial, it's probably going to be a faster tutorial because most of it is going to be time lapses. I'm going to basically just explain what you're going to want to do here. What you're going to want to do is, for starters, understand how clouds are formed. I'm sure if you've been in a environmental science class, you kind of understand what clouds look like, how they're formed: stratus, cumulus, cirrus. I really love cirrus clouds. I think they're very cool. Alto, cirrus, alto, cumulus, all of those. What you're going to want to do is look up these different cloud types so you understand what each cloud looks like. This is going to help a lot in creating different types of clouds because you understand how they look in real life, which will help you to make realistic clouds here. So what I'm going to do now is just make that basic cloud shape real quick. Layering is also very important for making good clouds, by the way. Just wanted to bring that up real quick. So now I have a base for my new cloud here. I went for a cumulonimbus this time instead of my usual cumulus or cirrus clouds, and I also throw in some altostratus clouds to, or just stratus clouds in general to help with atmosphere. here I have, here I decided to do a cumulonimbus cloud because they're taller and I want to do something a little bit taller, a little bit different. I don't want to do anything small. The best thing to do for these is to do a cumulus or cumulonimbus cloud because it helps with giving you, I'd say that one of the best clouds to start out with doing is a cumulus or cumulonimbus cloud because of how big they are and how much it requires of you to really get a lot going on with it. So now I'm going to add some highlight clouds. These clouds are basically just brighter clouds at the edges of the cloud formation that kind of just help as a base for added lighting. And they're very useful for making sure that you have a good base for your lighting. It'll help bring out the cloud where lighting is needed. I'm going to add a little bit here. I think, though, if I'm gonna add it here, I have to have it a little bit lower. Let's see, let me grab these and lower saturation. All right, that helps. I think that helps a lot. I'm going to, if you feel like there's like some lighting or something missing, you can just go and see all objects and it'll show you where something might need some more lighting. All right, I think that is a really good start. I think this is a really good start. So let me check to see if there's no, I don't lower the opacity, but if you want to, you can lower it to like maybe 90%, 80% opacity. I wouldn't go any lower than 70%. All right, now we're going to grab our Volna object here, and we're going to add a little bit of highlighting. I just grabbed the object straight off of another cloud. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily matter which one you use, but I would recommend, honestly, I would recommend using a shorter, one of the shorter objects. I think this is a little long, personally. So I would use something that's a little bit shorter. I'm just going to use this for the sake of just moving along relatively quickly. But yeah, you're going to want to have highlights basically everywhere. As much highlight work as you can. This would be, I have it set to 70% opacity. You don't want this to be too high opacity because it's supposed to be used as a blender. And if it's too high opacity, it won't blend in with the object behind it, and it needs to blend in with the object behind it. That's very important. I just noticed that this is all on the wrong layer. Let me just move this to the right. Oh, never mind, it is. I'm very smart. It's very important though. Make sure that all of your stuff is on the right layer. It makes things very a lot easier to work with. Alright, one more thing that I would recommend is making sure that you have this sky background in your when you're working, because it comes in a lot of handy. It makes sure that you're doing your coloring right, because if you just like do it on a black background like I usually work and then just throw it into a level with the right coloring, it might end up looking messed up. So you have to make extra sure that you're doing your stuff right, and this can help. So at this point in the tutorial, this is much less of truly a tutorial and more of a suggestion. And that suggestion is make sure that you have plenty of texture. And what I mean by that is make sure that there's a lot of stuff going on, such as these dot objects that I use, and glow, stuff like that. It'll help bring everything together. Now, I'm very much so just going to time-lapse through all of this, because this is a very subjective thing. I don't want to tell you exactly how to do your Artcore. You don't even have to make your clouds with what I've taught right now. It's just a very, very good base to go off of. I really like to leave detailing up in the air, because I think if you tell everybody how they should do their detail, everyone just does your style. So I'm just going to time-lapse all the rest of this until it's really complete. I'll do a little bit of talking here and there, but other than that, it's just going to be a complete time-lapse because I don't want to try and, teach everybody else how to do their style. Alright, let's get right into it. Alright, so now this is about the point where I would go ahead and start doing a little bit of my glow work just to help out with the design a little bit. Now, really all I would do for this part is just, if there's any places where I think a little bit of glow would help, I'll place a little bit of glow there. Now, with this design, I think I actually got a lot of this really spot on. You know, when I load up all of this, I think it looks really nice. Now, one thing that I think would be beneficial to do would be to place a little bit of glow to help some of the highlight areas kind of fade in with the design a little bit better. Basically, anywhere that I see any rough edges, I'll just add a little bit of glow to kind of ease it up a little bit. Alright, trying to see if there's any other little places that I might want to fix anything. I don't like how much this area over here stands out, so I'm going to add a little bit of glow here. That helps a little bit. Throw some glow right there. I kind of blend things in a little bit better. Now, in a lot of cases, really all you need to do is just grab a certain area and just play with the saturation a little bit. Like, I'm just going to grab this area because it really sticks out much more than I wish it did, and I'm just going to lower the saturation by just 1. That's really all you need to do most of the time. Now, I evidently need to go and grab it here as well and lower it here. And there, it kind of blends in a little bit better. Yeah, I like that. Really, that's about all you need to know for doing clouds. There's not that much to it. Alright, so now I just want to, like, very quickly touch base with these additional clouds that I've done. Really all I'm going to do here is just pull them off to the side and kind of break them down for you, because they're very simple. There's not really any theory or anything to them. So I'm going to start with these cirrus type clouds. Basically all that's going on with these clouds is let's see if I just delink them. Basically, you have the same 3-dot object that you can find in the 4th page of this chain tab. This is a very versatile block for making clouds, by the way. And then I just, on top of that, I have this wispy object, the kind of, I don't really know what to call it, but you know what I'm talking about. That object. And I have this set to like 5, my 40% opacity, and this is 60% opacity. Basically, these I like to put in clusters or groups. I like to put them in with the clouds. They kind of add a little bit of stuff to the clouds. I put them in groups in some cases, and you can see that throughout the art, and it just adds a little bit of extra kick to the art, I think. Next up we have these ambient clouds that I made that kind of fill in the void of space. If I I can show you what it looks like if you take them all out in a second. But basically, this is let me see. Let me just this is this object here from the Spike Deco tab, whatever you want to call it, the glow tab, basically. Basically, you just put that in a cluster. You try to keep the round edges outwards. So if I were just to like do an example right now, something like that. And with that, you kind of just put it all in a group, put it all together in a little group here, stuff like that, in a rough cloud shape, and then you can just place that all over the art, and it'll kind of give you a nice and useful, versatile background, foggy type of cloud in the background. And it really helps to just fill in that void of space that you really don't want to just have anywhere. Now finally, this is one of the later additional cloud types that I added. I just added these streams of the same object at very low opacity. These also just help to just add a little extra touch to your cloud scene. Basically all of those extra cloud types, all they do is really just add a little bit of extra, add a little extra something to kind of just give the scene more depth, more variety, more everything. It just gives it more, and then it just looks arguably better. But yeah, that's really all I can say about clouds in this tutorial. Basically, that's the tutorial. Like, subscribe, do all that crazy stuff. I want to get to 100 subscribers so I can get that community tab and get some real input and feedback on all of my videos and stuff like that. That's about it. I'll see y'all later.